California fires. The California fires started in mid-July to August of 2018. A series of large wildfires erupted across California, mostly in the northern part of the state. In total, 8,527 fires burning an area of 1,893,913 acres. Let's jump straight into the facts. If it was a wildfire, then why didn't all of the forests burn down? Here shows a picture of a tree burning. This type of fire intensity would be a direct result of the tree being struck by lightning. You can clearly see that the tree is burning from the inside out. Many people have speculated that trees won't burn until they have been exposed to extreme heat intensity and the length of the fire due to trees having water inside them. Now this all depends on the type of tree it is. Some trees produce a sticky sap to prolong the fire spreading, but for the tree to have that intensity of fire inside and the height of the fire expanding, I can't see it being caused by a wildfire. In order for a fire, there needs to be a fuel in which starts the fire and feeds it. This would have had to be intense to cause this much damage and be the largest ever fire recorded. With that being said, I have attached a clip which clearly shows that in a normal street only one house has been burnt down. As you can see on the clip I have attached, there is no scorching to the surrounding grass areas. Other surrounding houses do not appear to be affected by the fire or do not even have signs that a fire has occurred there. Even the roads and the pavements still do not show traces that even a fire occurred there. So how do we explain this? You could say that this was targeted, as this would support and explain the theory that it was set up to cause damage to the affected house. If this was due to the wildfire, then there would be signs and the surrounding houses and area would be affected, or even show the smallest signs that a fire had occurred there. Now here is a car's alloys melted. A firefighter has said that this cannot be done by a wildfire. Pylons and other metal structures were not affected, so what explains the melted alloys? The conspiracy theory is that the US government had laser beams set up which were pointed at specific locations in order to start the fires. Here are a list of companies that have currently invented or are inventing laser beams. I will attach a clip to show this is possible and is already invented. It is predicted to be as powerful as the sun and can wipe out an entire human race. So why would you deny having a laser beam invented when there is proof and documentation and a clip released to support and prove you do?
How did they create a laser with such devastating force? By assembling an array of 192 lasers and aiming them at a single hydrogen pellet the size of a BB. These 192 lasers are linked together by a twisting jungle of tubes that snake through this mammoth 10-story structure, which is the length of 3 football fields. The plan is to fire all 192 laser beams at once. Each beam starts out low-powered, about the size of what's inside your DVD player. But as they pass through the complex maze of tubes, they merge into one super beam. This super beam fires 500 terawatts of power in 2 billionths of a second, roughly 500 times the entire peak power output of the United States. When that light strikes the hydrogen pellet, it cooks it to over 800 million. Scientists have been working on this top-secret project since 1974. This laser is capable of unleashing the power of the sun. Enough energy to light up every home in the US or wipe out mankind.
What we can do is focus this very high energy into a very small spot for a very short time. And when that happens, we get the conditions that are very much like inside our sun.
In the clip I attached, it explains that laser beams were as powerful as the sun and were able to wipe out an entire human race. So why would you deny having laser beams invented when there are documentation and a clip released to support and prove you do? Guilty conscience? Or just wanting the public to turn a blind eye? Where the fires took place, there was a plan to build a railway. It seems suspicious that the fires occurred exactly in the place that they were planning the railway. It makes me question this must have been planned, because the people in the surrounding areas would have opposed to the railway being built there, as it would mean that they would have to move out of their houses and relocate. There's been speculation as to how the fire started, which brings me to the conspiracy of this video, lasers. Now it's been alleged that lasers have not been invented or modified for that matter, so that should squash the theory, right? No, you're wrong. Now there's a clip that I want you to watch, a man called Dr. Machinio Kaku. Now in this video, he claims that these lasers were used.
The CIA used this to bring down monsoons during the Vietnam War, to wash out the Viet Cong. Governments have been playing with this thing.
Alleged to.
Alleged to, right.
Yeah.
Now, we realize that for decades now, these governments have been alleged to have experimented.
The news reporter interrupts and adds alleged. It's very peculiar that she would interrupt and add that as a cover-up that they wasn't used, even though Dr. Machinio Kaku said that they was. So why deny that we have invented lasers and that they're not modified when they are? Stop burying the truth. The government and other supporting parties wanted to build the railway as it would create billions in revenue. Coincidental that the fires took place here? I think not. Now some of you watching this video or other videos would say it's fake and just conspiracy. Well, let's add some facts to the mix. The temperature of a fire at its highest point is 1,400 degrees Celsius. Now, cars are burned inside and outside, and windows also disappeared. Windows have a melting point of 2,600 to 3,000 degrees. So, we're talking forge, foundry, furnace in order to melt that. Glass does not melt on its own. Open fires on its own do not complete combustion of the materials. Now, if the hood or a bonnet on a car can melt away, why didn't the pylons or other metal materials in those houses burn down? Why can you see the frames of houses still standing? Now that seems strange to me. It has been confirmed that lasers are not visible to the naked eye, so we wouldn't have imagery proof that the lasers didn't cause the fire. But when they are dismissing that we have lasers invented and are advanced, this doesn't add up. Denial of having lasers which can't be caught makes perfect sense. If they was to confirm this, then the conspiracy theory would be confirmed. Now, I'm not saying all fires are done by the government, because of course, it can be due to heat, no rainfall, or cigarettes being dropped. But I think we can all agree, I don't think there's enough evidence to support the theory that the government didn't do it. Now, if a firefighter who is trained in fire has experienced many fires in his career and is calling out the wildfire, along with all the evidence to support this theory, then I don't think we can come back with a counter-argument. My heart goes out to all of those who died in the fire, lost loved ones, lost their homes, businesses. Now another theory is the Illuminati started the fire with the lasers. Now this can tie in with the first conspiracy I talked about on this video. If you haven't seen my first video on YouTube, watch it after this one. Now I explained in that video that the Illuminati is made up of those in power who have planted some Illuminati members into the government circle and other corporations in order to control world affairs and Martian events. Now, the build for the railway was opposed as it was people's homes and livelihoods, and no one wanted to move away and relocate for the sake of a railway to be built. Now, the railway they wanted to build would generate billions in revenue. Let's just say, for argument's sake, that there were no homes in the area and the build could take place. Why would you want to build a multi-billion-dollar revenue where fires are due to nature? This doesn't make sense. You wouldn't risk losing your multi-billion railway when it will pay itself off in investments and in revenue that will be generated from this to be lost in a fire. If that's not damning evidence, then I don't know what is. Now, slightly off topic, but whilst watching and researching hours and hours of footage for this video, it dawned on me. The Illuminati is alleged to be made up of powerful people who have money as well as status. Everyone in the White House fits that bill. Celebs also fit that bill. Most of the celebs are conspired to be in the Illuminati, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Illuminati is powerful individuals with money who control us in order to believe what they believe and want us to do or say or have built what they require. We are like puppets on a string, being controlled in what information we're allowed to know, what we should think in order to establish a new world order and new world peace. Once again, my heart goes out to all of those who were lost in the fire or lost in their homes, professions, etc. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Also hit the notification bell not to miss another video. Comment below on what you think on this theory. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Also leave a comment of what other videos you would like me to cover. Thanks, y'all!